Over the last few weeks, we've been talking about estate planning. And if you missed it, I have an episode where I interviewed Renee Harvey with Caldwell Law of Lebanon, New Hampshire, an expert on estate planning. And we talked about common estate planning mistakes. So if you're looking a little bit more than what we're going to talk about today, that could be an episode that you could review. But today I was thinking about the upcoming holidays with time with family and friends and loved ones. The people who have shaped our lives, siblings who we've shared our dreams with, parents who have shaped our lives, and even children whose lives we've shaped. They're also probably the same ones who are going to be part of our estate plan, our legacy. They're going to be the ones that we name in our wills. But as you leave them with your stuff, would you also like to tell them the why of your estate plan or the why of what you're doing? Better yet, maybe asking yourself this question before you execute your estate plan could also help to make it even more personal. Hi, my name is Sally Boyle, the founder of S.J. Boyle Wealth Planning, and we work with individuals approaching retirement planning within 10 to 15 years, of which their estate planning is a very big part of our conversation. So let's start with your estate plan. The center of it is typically your will or your trust, and that's the document that dictates where your stuff will go, who's going to get what. Now, what if in addition to that, you could also write a letter that shares the why of your estate plan, or the why of how you lived your life the way that you did. Maybe explains the wisdom you feel you gained, or maybe even the hopes that you might have for your family after you're gone. Well, if something like that sounds appealing to you, that is a legacy letter. Now, let me tell you what a legacy letter is not. It's not a legal document. It's not binding. It's really more of a gift from your heart. It gives you the chance to say maybe thank you, or I love you, or even I forgive you. And maybe it can say, here is what I hope for you. It's a chance to pass on the things that can't be itemized, your values, your stories, your life lessons. Think of it almost as the soul of your will. And in my opinion, this can actually be the most personal and valuable thing that you can leave behind. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be honest. So think about it. What legacy would you write down? Let me share what I've seen in some legacy letters. They're usually maybe in 3 sections. And the first one, I've seen people share their core values and their beliefs, what I like to think of as their wisdom. This section focuses on the principles that guided your life. Gratitude, maybe. What you're most profoundly grateful for and why. Maybe it's your defining principles. What were the 3 most important values that guided your life that you tried to live by? Maybe it was honesty. Maybe it was resilience. Maybe it was kindness. What is the meaning of your life? And in this, while that sounds lofty, really what you're telling people is what, in your opinion, makes life meaningful. And that could be surprising to a lot of your heirs. And then there are the lessons that you've learned. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be? This might be the most interesting thing you give to your children or grandchildren. And then there's always mistakes, maybe even asking for forgiveness. What was the major failure you experienced? And what did you learn from it? Is there anything you wish to, or anyone you'd like to ask forgiveness from? Or is there anyone you would even like to offer forgiveness to? Now, the second section I always see is maybe telling life stories or even describing relationships. Maybe you're just telling some of the key memories or the narrative of your life. Maybe it's a pivotal moment where you describe that aha moment in your life when you felt you truly grew or changed. Maybe it was the hardest time, the biggest obstacle in your life that you overcame. And what strength did you discover while doing it? The other might be the best advice. What is the best advice you ever received from a parent or a mentor or a friend? And some of it could be relationship focused. Maybe this is a time for you to say something to your loved ones that is specific about them, a child, a grandchild, or a partner. Maybe you just want to share a favorite memory you have with them and what they taught you. And maybe it's talking a little bit about a personal achievement that is outside of work. What accomplishment are you most proud of and why? Now, the third section is talks about the future. It might be hopes and wishes that you have for your family going forward. It could even be a little bit of guidance. So this section looks forward, offering encouragement. So maybe it's the hopes for the world. What is your greatest wish for the future of your world, of your community? Maybe it's just a message for future generations. What do you hope your children and grandchildren carry forward of your family's history? Maybe it's just a little bit of encouragement. What specific skill or attitude do you encourage your loved ones to cultivate in their own lives? And on difficult times, what advice do you offer your loved ones for facing future moments of deep sorrow or deep despair? And then there might just be a final blessing where you write a concluding statement and summarize your love and final blessing for them. So while estate planning calls us to think of our bequests and what we want to do with our stuff, my guess is that this letter could give them even more. So I hope you consider writing one. And if you're really interested, we are going to be sponsoring a writing workshop for legacy letters. So if you're interested, sign up for our newsletter and you'll see the announcement when it comes out. Or if you just like this content, just follow us for more content right here. Again, thanks very much for being here.